Hi, so in this video I will show you step by step how to make kombucha with SCOBY. And the main reason why I started to make kombucha and drink kombucha is because of its health benefits. So kombucha contains a lot of good bacteria, a lot of probiotics, which is really beneficial for our gut health. And it was found that our gut health is much more important than what we originally thought. It's not just about digestion, it influences our immune system as well as our mind, our thinking, and it can decide even which genes can get turned on. So it's extremely important to maintain our gut health, and kombucha can be a very easy way how to do this. Hello, my name is Michaela. Welcome to your Nature Shaker, where I'm sharing my journey, how I'm removing ultra-processed foods from my diet, and I'm becoming more of a food creator rather than food consumer. So I'm growing my own food, I'm fermenting, preserving, I'm learning a lot of facts about nutrition, and also I'm learning about a lot of useful kind of tips and tricks how to do all of this as a busy man on a busy schedule. So hope you enjoy it. So first of all, let's talk about SCOBY. And SCOBY stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast. And it is basically responsible for turning your sweet tea into kombucha. So as you can see, it looks a little bit like a pancake, and it is rubbery texture, and when you're fermenting, SCOBY is floating in the liquid on the top of it. It definitely wouldn't win any beauty contest, but it is very important for your kombucha making. Okay, so what do you need to make kombucha? So these are the ingredients I'm going to be using. So obviously, as explained, we need SCOBY. So what I'm using is green tea, and I'm going to make 2 liters of kombucha. So basically I'm using a Clipper organic pure green tea, and it's very important to use organic green or black tea, white tea, just basically tea without any additives, because if you're using tea with additives, it can interfere with the fermentation process. So basically for 2 liters, you need 8 tea bags. So it depends how much you're making, but it is 4 tea bags per liter. Okay, and this is the jar that I'm going to be using. So I'm actually using a jar which comes with a one-way air release vent. So basically I don't have to worry about releasing the gas from the actual fermentation process. And basically normally what people use if they don't have jar like this is a cloth with a rubber band on it. So it really depends. I mean, you don't have to buy a jar like this. You can just use a cloth with a rubber band around it. Okay. Also, you will need sugar. I was trying to find some organic sugar, but I couldn't, so I'm just using ordinary granulated sugar. I have just boiled a kettle full of water. I have used filtered water, but you don't have to, of course. It is your choice. And I have put 8 tea bags into my jar. And now I'm going to add about 160 to 200 grams of granulated sugar. If you, for example, making kombucha in a 5-liter jar, you just need to times this by 2.5. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go on the lower side of sugar, but make sure that you do have enough sugar in your kombucha, because that is really what allows the fermentation process. So don't go too low with your sugar in your recipe. Here we go. See, 162 grams I went for. Okay, so now I'm going to pour this water into the jar. So I'm doing it in the sink, and just in case why, you're wondering why I'm doing this in the sink, is because I had a bad experience in the past and the jar cracked. So I'm hoping it's not going to happen again, as this should be specialized jar for kombucha making. Here we go. So I don't actually have enough water, so I have to boil a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just pouring the rest of the water. Here we go. Make sure you do not add SCOBY into this just yet, because the hot water would destroy SCOBY. And now I'm just going to put the lid on it and leave it for about half an hour. And I forgot to stir it, so let me stir it with the sugar, everything together. Here we go. And I think I'm happy with this now. And as I said, just leave it about half an hour. Okay, so now I'm taking all the tea bags out. Here we go. And now we will have to leave the tea to cool down before we add SCOBY. So again, don't add SCOBY into hot tea, because the temperature can basically destroy your SCOBY, and then the whole fermentation process would not take place. Okay, so my tea has cooled down, and now I'm ready to transfer SCOBY into my tea. So just again, make sure that your tea is about room temperature, and I'm going to cut this and transfer SCOBY into the tea with the liquids and everything what's in it. You can see the kombucha is floating in the tea, and it is recommended that there is an airflow. However, as I said, I'm just using this specialized fermentation jar, which basically allows the air to come out. So as you can see, SCOBYs are floating around in my tea, and the next step will be to store this somewhere dark. I will probably leave it in the cupboard, and make sure that you don't leave your kombucha somewhere where it's too light and sunny, because fermentation process does not like sunny places. It prefers definitely darkness. So basically, in terms of how long to leave kombucha to ferment, it's recommended to leave it for about 10 to 14 days, but it will really depend on your taste preference. So you'll find out as you're experimenting what you like. The best way to find out is after about 10 days, just pour a little bit of kombucha away and taste it. If it tastes fruity, that means it is ready, it has fermented. If it still tastes like a tea, leave it longer. And then basically just pour kombucha away, pour your liquid away into bottles or where you want to store it in a container, and leave your SCOBY into a little bit of liquid. Just make sure there is some liquid left. And put your kombucha in your container or bottle in your fridge and leave it there for a few hours. The longer you leave it there, it will get more fizzy. It doesn't really have an expiry date, so you can just drink it as you want to drink it at your own pace. Okay, so as I said, you leave your SCOBY in a little bit of liquid, and you either just leave it in there if you don't want to ferment more kombucha, or you obviously then again boil water and go through the whole process again. Also, as a next step, if you would like to flavor your kombucha with different flavors, so for example, you can add fruit in it, or you can add herbs in it, and there are different ways how you can flavor kombucha. That is called second fermentation process. So basically you add these ingredients into your kombucha and then you leave it for another few days to ferment, and that will take on flavor of those fruits or herbs that you are using. I have a blog on this topic on yournatureshaker.com, specifically on different ways how you can flavor your kombucha, where you can also find all the instructions on how to make kombucha.